Okay, so we are calling this meeting to order at 6:33, and Brooke is taking attendance quietly over here, so we don't have to go through it all. The first order of business is to approve the minutes from the January meeting. Does anyone have anything they want to change in the minutes? No.
Just trying to find a space. That
wasn't a. Okay, do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
No no's or abstentions? The minutes have been approved. And then, Brooke, do we have any public comments?
No.
We have Andrew here, but do you mind waiting a couple minutes so that the mayor can swear in our new member?
Mhm.
Okay, because it's Arts Commission business. Okay, so the mayor is swearing.
Okay, Jan, you know the drill. Stand up, raise your right hand. Okay, very good. You're going to repeat after me. I state your name.
I won't
Well,
do the joke.
I know.
I state your name.
Yeah.
I, Jan Hine,
Do hereby solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
perform the duties
perform the duties
as a member
as a member
of the City of Stow
of the City of Stow
Arts Commission,
Arts Commission.
that I uphold the Constitution of the United States,
I will uphold the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Charter of the City of Stow,
Charter of the City of Stow,
and otherwise
all the
laws
laws
of the land
of the land
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and understanding.
and understanding.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jan, you want to just give them a brief thing about you?
A brief thing about me. I am here because they dissolved the cemetery committee, and I was on the cemetery committee for a long time. And I think they chose me because I was so old. And it was sort of a natural thing to put a vintage person into that seat. So that is no more. And John suggested I come here. And I just said to Jessica as she was doing her arty thing, I'm about as far from an artist as anyone could possibly be. My degree is in English, and I'll be happy to conjugate verbs for you, or diagram sentences, or talk about Milton. However, I really don't know what this group does or why it's important. Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
So I'm here to listen and see exactly what it is that I can do to contribute. I do about 3 things well. I make a great meatloaf. I can fold a contour sheet so it looks like it came from the store, and I tap dance. So those are my contributions to this group, and if anyone needs to know more, you're certainly welcome to ask. I retired 2 years ago after 40 years in real estate and title. And I fostered dogs for years, and now I board dogs in my home. And I love rescue dogs. Rescues are my favorite breed. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, Andrew, would you like to
Sure.
do your thing?
So I know it's been a hot minute since I spoke here last. I think it was like March or April last year. I know Andrew Rome spoke to the Arts Commission a couple months ago about the upcoming presentation. We were actually going to have it in the library. We put it on, and it actually went a lot better than we thought it would. We had about 20 people turn out, which was far more than we expected. But he unfortunately wasn't able to make it tonight, so I'm kind of relaying some messages on his behalf and mine too, obviously. But we completed the presentation, and we're thinking that we're kind of almost ready for the next stage of the project, where we can begin accepting submissions for flag designs from the community. We have about 120 responses to our or 130 responses to our survey so far. So we still need a little bit more. We're trying to follow the same sort of process that Kent went through when redesigning their flag. And I actually talked with their flag committee secretary about process and making sure, we're following good practice. And currently we're on track to effectively go through this process relatively smoothly. We just still need to get more responses, but in the meantime, we're looking at starting to accept submissions probably in March or April. And so far responses out of 124, our first question, and the one that's most pertinent to what we're talking about, is, do you like the current design of the flag? 72.6% said no. So I think that's kind of telling of, our direction with this project. But part of why we're coming to you today is we don't know like what avenues that the Arts Commission has, within its power. Does the Arts Commission have like any social media accounts?
We
They
do
have
not have our own social media
Okay.
accounts. The city, through Parks and Rec, handles all the
Okay,
Arts
and-
Commission.
Okay. And the Arts Commission is able to are they able to create communications through these social media accounts?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're thinking, we don't know what the logistics are because I'm not a member of the Arts Commission. So obviously my official power with this is somewhat limited, but we were wondering what sort of avenues that the Arts Commission might have in regards to having some sort of process for accepting submissions from the community, mainly through email. We don't know if that's something that would be possible or if that would have to be a separate, I don't know, venture by any particular group. We just want to know what would be a good practice for going through official means with the Arts Commission.
I think that we'd have to meet with Parks and Rec and discuss, because we do have a Stow Arts Commission email,
Mhm.
which we have the Women in Arts submit their entries to. But I know that Parks and Rec have their own system that they have as well. So it would be meeting and discussing exactly what information you want to collect and whether the city wants to do it through that avenue or through the Arts
If
Commission.
Arts Commission is going to take on some of
Yeah.
this, it would be through the Arts Commission email.
Okay. So, yeah, then it would probably be more a case of working with the city to design a flyer that's
Right.
going to be posted with all the information that you want in
Right.
the email.
Okay. And would me and Andrew Rome be able to design this flyer and have it through the city, or does it have to go through the city? I don't know what the procedure is.
It would have to
so-
go to the,
If flyers are designed from the outside,
Mhm.
then they get submitted. Marketing team is within the Parks Department,
Mhm.
and we have branding that we follow, right down to the color codes for the maroon we use and the gold we use.
Right.
It's, so our marketing team would have to look at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it
so-
would probably be best that you go ahead and present something so they know what you want, and then they can,
Right,
Yeah.
like
they can,
they,
Massage
yeah,
it,
some of the
yeah.
Arts Commission members have come up with flyers that, along the way and said, here's our idea. And then the marketing team just takes it and tweaks it.
right.
Okay. So I guess really just, our next steps, and we kind of actually touched on this, at the presentation, would be, we would receive, design submissions from the community. And this would be in a somewhat extended period of time.
Yeah.
We're thinking of starting probably, March or April-ish, and then having that all through the summer and probably until, I don't know, September, October. That's just a general, what we're thinking it might be. It's obviously subject to change, especially depending on influx of submissions. But what we would do after that was we would, and this is kind of the part where it's like me and Andrew Rome as kind of spearheading this project. It's kind of a weird sort of path where it's because we're not part of the Arts Commission, we kind of have to hand it off to you.
yeah.
But we would have to go through a process where we narrow down these submissions, and we would have this lovely group of people do that until we get down to a list of finalists that we consider to be representative of the city. And then after that, we would have a public vote, but that's very far in the future. But I kind of just wanted to iron out, right here. And it seems like we've kind of already done most of that. But just, we would accept submissions through the Arts Commission email. And then we would narrow down the designs. And then, so we're allowed to submit just making sure I'm understanding this correctly. We're allowed to submit a flyer, but it would have to be approved through.
It would have to be approved and probably be tweaked a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. And I guess that's really all I have.
Okay. As a reminder for everybody, the projected completion date of this entire project is July 4th, 2026, correct?
Yeah, that's when it would take. So
Yeah.
probably be done by June-ish, I would say.
And it doesn't necessarily mean that there will be a new flag. We're going through the process to see whether the people in Stow want a new flag, whether we get enough submissions. And then Andrew did present at the library about how the process would work. And at the end of the process, there would be a selection of, what was it, three of the submissions?
Three of the submissions.
And then the old flag, so that the public can vote on which one of those four they want. So it could be we're going through this entire process and everyone decides they like the old flag and we keep it. Or we could have a new flag and it would be revealed at the 4th of July parade, which also coincides with Stow's 250th anniversary. So that would be.
You mentioned about the process of narrowing down the selections. Is there a process in place different than what we would do for, say, the signal boxes?
So they're following the process that Kent used. Was it Kent that used this process?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're following that process. And I don't know if you still have the slideshow that you used. Maybe you can email that to.
I do have that on my phone, actually.
Okay, if
Right
you
now.
want to email that to the Arts Commission email address, I think you have that, then I can forward it on to everybody and you can just click through it and see. Some of it doesn't really do much without Andrew pointing things out,
Right.
but the main gist of it is there.
Okay.
So yeah, they're following that same procedure. And I think when it comes down to selection, we would have maybe a couple of members from the Arts Commission sit down with you and Andrew and at a separate time and date and go through all those submissions. That's usually what we do with the signal boxes too.
Will you have put out the rules or parameters of what you consider a flag to have, versus a banner or whatever?
Yeah.
So people know that when they're.
Yeah, so we're thinking of what we were thinking. We were also kind of modeling our process after the city of Toledo, because Toledo actually, they kind of did a similar process, but they were very detailed in their specific way of doing it, because it was I think it was laid out by law. But what we're going to try to do is, when we extend an invitation to the public to receive these submissions, we'll lay out the project and then talk about what we're looking in the flag. And we don't want to be too specific, because we think it's important that people are allowed to have creativity and a unified vision of what they design. But the design principles of flags, as you mentioned, like the principles of what makes a flag rather than a banner, those will be a consideration. I don't think we should make it but we will probably publicize those parameters for good practice.
And are you looking, I know you mentioned that you have 124 responses on that survey. Are you looking to get more before moving on to the next step? Do you have a threshold you're trying to hit?
Yeah, so Kent received, let me check my text with the guy from the Kent Flag Commission. Yeah, they got about 600 responses, so we want to see if we can get that amount. A lot of this is contingent on building momentum, in the sense that once one person hears about it, they would hopefully share it with their friends, and it's a snowball effect. So we're really trying to, get the word out about the responses. But we did make a note that we are going to start accepting flag submissions, but we're still also going to be accepting survey responses at the same time. That way we can get to the survey responses that we need, but we can also at the same time, be more efficient with our time and also accept these flag designs. We're looking at achieving the threshold for how many survey responses once we finish receiving submissions, and then, we have to narrow things down. Because part of what the narrowing down process will include is, looking at public opinion and seeing, hey, how is this being represented in these designs? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I work in survey methodology, so that's why I was asking. And so I was also I was thinking when I read the mayor's the city of Stow's last email that just came out, I was thinking that would be a good spot to put it if we haven't done that already, and maybe we could link right to the survey if we're allowed to do that. I don't know the rules, but
I was actually just gonna ask that, where is the survey right now?
So the survey, we haven't had, because me or Andrew are not a member of the Arts Commission, and we're not in any like official capacity with the city of Stow. We haven't been really able to have an official designated forum where like you can, go and be like, oh yeah, we know that the survey is here. So it's been mainly through posting on Facebook groups and obviously our presentation. I don't know if the city newsletter is an option. I'm sure there's like, rules about what can be put on there. I don't know if the Arts Commission would have to like approve something to get that put on there, or.
That would,
It
I don't know
goes
if
through
it's
you
possible.
first, Leland, this group first, and then to
Okay.
Park and Rec.
Well, I mean, we voted last time Andrew was here about moving forward with the project. So that's on record that the Arts Commission did vote to move forward with the flag project. So I don't know if we can vote on putting something in the newsletter from the
No,
city.
that would be up
Yeah.
to Linda and her crew, but
Yeah,
it comes as a recommendation from this group.
okay. Do we have to vote on making that recommendation? Or do I just come and talk to
You kind of already did it.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
It would just be like
Just
the
have
next
a
step.
conversation, yeah.
Do you want to see the media material first, the Arts Commission, or do you just want them to send it to Park and Rec?
I think that Parks and Rec, and I think maybe if I do take a look at it, just to look at it from maybe an artist's perspective to see if anything was missed.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's the Arts Commission
Yeah.
Yeah.
project
Yeah.
you should be
Yeah.
aware of.
I would rather have
Everything.
everybody see it.
Yeah, that's
So
fine.
that way you can move along that path
Yeah,
where it isn't like one person deciding.
perfect.
Then I think that's the time that you would vote.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So send it to the Arts Commission email. Do you have that email line?
Yes, yeah.
I know I've asked you already.
So, okay,
Yeah.
so would you want me to, I'm trying to remember how the format of the newsletter is kind of, laid out. Would you just want me to send like the QR code or the link to the survey, or would you also want me to submit, what Andrew Rome has typed out as a preface for it, and then the Arts Commission would then recommend to have that on the newsletter, or how would that specific
Feel like
process go through?
send us what information you have.
Okay.
That way we have all the information and we can also go through and decide what is relevant and what isn't.
Mhm.
So, but as you look through this, going back to when Drew's gonna come here,
Yeah,
you really can't vote on it until the next meeting or whatever. So it has to be totally public
Yeah.
to where that's the case. So you can send it out to them, but you won't get anything till the next meeting.
So would that be a copy that all of us would be able to see and comment about?
yes.
Okay.
No
Rather than,
comments until.
when I
that
mean,
meeting.
rather than
Yeah.
having like a committee, because I know at some
Exactly.
point, the last time we were talking about how protocols go, that if we had a committee or a subcommittee, what that protocol looks like, I can't remember.
Yeah,
I think the whole group's involved in this, so I think we
Yeah.
should, since it's the basis of this, start off and then, like I said, but I'd also there can't be conversation back and forth according to sunshine law. This,
Yeah.
you can receive the information and then discuss it the next open meeting.
I think, yeah, the
You can-
point of it going to the Arts Commission is so that you all have it ahead of time
Right.
to see it. You have all that information at your fingertips. And then, yeah, like.
So
you
then
said,
you could pose questions in a public forum.
You can make notes and come prepared.
Yeah.
So we can get it out, just like the agenda, and then
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
next meeting, discuss it.
Are you going away to college in the fall? Or
I
you?
am. That's partially why I kind of pushed for the project 2 years ago, but
Yeah.
How far are you
Exactly.
going?
Michigan.
Michigan,
Yeah, it's
okay,
close.
it's not too far. The mayor's like, that's close. The mayor will come pick you up. For meetings.
Leaving home next summer though, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Email works.
Hate for you to not see the end of the project. You've given a lot of time to, a lot of energy to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so trying to, run through things in my head.
But it will
So,
be a wonderful legacy though for you.
absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
don't you think?
Yeah.
My goal is to make.
And
it
how
possible.
good does that look on a resume?
Well, I would invite, because he's gonna send you this presentation of how the flag came about, whatever, you're gonna be
Yes.
shocked. And it was lost one time, even going to the printer and things like that. So it's gonna be very interesting. It is a
It
very
was a very
interesting read.
interesting
The history.
The
presentation.
original, yes.
Yeah.
History is very interesting on
Good.
this.
Good, I'd like to read that.
Okay, well, thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Andrew.
Of
And
course.
again, you're welcome to stay, but you may leave if you need to be somewhere.
Thank you.
We're not gonna hold you hostage. Okay, moving on to old business, the Woman in Art Showcase. I want to thank Janelle because she's been helping me a lot with this in the past couple of weeks. We have 30 artists that have submitted. That's the most we've had
That's awesome.
in all 5 years.
Great.
And it's a mix of returning artists as well as new artists. So I'm very excited about that. With that being said, Janelle and I have been working on securing new businesses because a couple of businesses from last year have closed again. So we are doing well. I think we have 2 or 3 places each that we still need to stop by. We've got waivers. I didn't bring any of my waivers tonight, but I will. As we're going along, we'll come and drop off waivers to the city. So we're on track with everything. The goal is to place artists with businesses by the 14th of February. And then we will have everything to Parks and Rec by then so that the flyers can be made up.
Question?
Yes.
I have a friend who is an excellent quilter.
Mhm.
Are quilts considered art?
Yes, it's fiber arts. So we do actually we have the Embroiderers Guild is it the American Embroiderers Guild? I can't remember what their exact name is. But they submit all the time.
I feel like it is.
Yeah, I don't want to get it wrong. I'll
Yeah.
just say the Embroiderers Guild. They've been submitting every year, and I think we have one quilt maker that did submit this year. So
okay.
yes,
I just would like her to know about it. Maybe
Yeah.
not for this, it might be too late for this year,
it is too late for this year,
but
but
next year she
this
could
is our 5th
prepare
year.
something.
yeah, this is our 5th year, so I'm pretty sure we'll still be doing this
Good.
next year.
Good.
And seeing the submissions and the reception we've been getting this year, I think it's
You've got enough places for all of them?
yeah. We're on track. So yeah. Any other questions about this?
No, I just wanted to tell you both,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Oh.
Because it is a lot of work and we do appreciate it. It's moving along really well. I actually have, I think, about 7 bios back already. So that's
Just sent that out.
a
So
good
that's-
start. That's a good start. I'll send another reminder, but that will be, in Parks, that's our next step, is getting those bios back from the artists and then getting that passport made. And then, did you want to now talk about the reception?
Yeah, so Chris and I have been working on the plans for the reception, and The plan is to have it April 1st, so in place of the April meeting here, we would have the reception over at the new Community Senior Center from this, at the same time as the typical meeting here, 6:30 to 8.
So that we can all attend,
Yes. so that-
because you already have that date in your calendars for Arts Commission business.
So we'll have the invitation open to the community, but, we hope that all the businesses and artists can attend. We'll have some refreshments and, recognizing them all.
So I've spoken to someone for appetizers. So we'll have appetizers and a cake and refreshments. I was over at the center with the girls from marketing, and the mayor goes out to every business with the artists and takes photos. So they'll come up with some kind of slideshow. If you haven't been in the new center yet to see it in the grand hall, there's 2 big TVs up on the wall. So we'll have the slideshow playing during the whole thing. And I think
What is the date of this show?
April 1st.
April 1st. Oh, okay.
6:30 to 8.
That's the show itself, not just the,
The Women in Arts exhibit is for the entire month of March. It coincides with Women's History Month.
oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's throughout Stow at local businesses.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, I have,
So yeah, so this is the 5th year anniversary of.
Oh,
And
okay.
April 1 is the, it ends March 30. What's in March? 31. 31. I was gonna do my little. So April 1 and it being a meeting night all seemed to just work out
March
perfectly.
30. It's only 30 days, not 31.
No, there's 31.
31. in March.
There's only 3 on my calendar.
31 days.
You gotta pay
Take
attention.
that thing back.
Oh, I'm sorry, look at the wrong month.
Oh,
Would
I see.
everybody like to recite
We're
for
now
time?
at 31.
So each artist has a place to display,
yes.
and it's through, for the whole month, and it's like a progressive thing. You can choose to go to all of them, or one of them, or the ones where you shop, or, I see, okay. So the April 1st you're talking about is the culmination.
It's a reception.
A
So their
reception.
art won't be on display there. It's a
Okay.
reception. But they
Okay.
will have a
Pictures.
slideshow presentation going the whole time.
Oh,
And during that time, the artist can sell that merchandise or art that they've made. So it's on sale at those respective
Yeah.
spots.
And hopefully, the artists can bring their business cards and, we'll do an open, we went back and forth with what type of invitation. So we'll probably, if anybody saw on the city's social media, when we did the grand opening for the center, we did like an invitation. We made up an invitation, but then it was posted. We won't mail out
And
physical
I do have
invitations.
like
We'll
a
do-
distribution list of everybody that's participated, so I can forward that
Perfect.
on.
I did look at all the previous year's submissions, and we have 2 artists that have submitted every year for the past 5 years. So I don't know if we want to maybe recognize that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, work with Brooke on that.
yeah, I'll let you know.
And will the reception be open to the public?
Yes.
The invite will be out on social media.
Other than that, I don't have any other updates. Everything's going well. Everything's fine. We're doing great. Janelle's helping me. Yeah. Okay, so moving on to Arts Now, updates. I sent out links to everybody for the artist luncheon that is tomorrow. If you haven't signed up, it's $12, I think, is the luncheon fee. And then also on the 6th of March at 5 p.m. is the Summit Life 365 10-year celebration that the city, the Stow Arts Commission is listed as a host for that. We don't need to do anything other than just our logo is out there and we're listed as one of the hosts. It is at the Works. It is a free reception. If you want to attend, please register so that they know that you're coming. I'll send out that link again so that everyone has it. And if we can send that link out to all our artists, if you have a list of artists we've had, we can send that out to them as well because it's open to all creatives. So, yeah, and in the Arts Commission because we're one of the hosts. I don't have any other Arts Now updates today. So moving on to performing arts with Leanne.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were unable to get a space to do any type of concert with the Stow Symphony Orchestra in conjunction with local artists. So we were hoping for, Chris did a phenomenal job of trying to track down how to do it. So we're probably gonna have to table that for this year.
I hear there's going to be an amphitheater in Stow.
Yeah, I've been
2026.
I think that we need to explore other options for venues. I don't want to let it die quite yet.
No.
But really without a venue, it's very hard to plan any type of event whatsoever. So we'll just kind of have to keep our eyes open and continue working on that.
Okay. So, just so that Jan's up to date, Leanne has been working on a performing arts event because we want to promote performing arts as well as visual arts. So it's been a struggle because pretty much the only location that we can use at the moment is the schools, one of the school buildings, and she's been struggling with trying to get that set
So
up.
are you talking about dancing or drama
We
or?
were looking for music. We were trying to
Oh, a
get
musical.
adult
Okay.
musicians, a
Okay.
venue to come and perform. Well, I had spoken with the Stow Symphony Orchestra and they were very interested in collaborating with that. But without a venue, it's almost impossible to do something like that at this time. So that's what we're gonna have to try to work on.
Nothing at the new place on Fish Creek? What, is it called the senior center or is it called the community center
Community and senior.
and senior
Did
center?
not
Is it-
explore that option yet, but we are running out of time, so we will have to look into that for probably next year at this point. So.
Of course, you need room for performers and.
Correct, and with a group as large as the Stow Symphony Orchestra, we would need to have a pretty large space.
Oh, I see.
We may be able to scale it down to something smaller, but again, we still need like a
A
venue.
quartet.
Where do they perform at typically?
They perform at a church in Talmadge. That's where they practice and perform. So they would love to come back to Stow. Would love to be able to work with them on that, but we'll keep our eyes out for them.
What would you say was their biggest roadblock into having that, if we were to, in the future, consider using the schools for whatever?
Well, it's,
I had several conversations.
it's a matter of space.
It's a lot of things.
Okay.
The person that I spoke with was more than willing to try to help this all happen. But there were just certain things, for example, the high school really wasn't an option for staffing reasons if it was going to be in the summer, and then they preferred that it be a weeknight. The things that they kind of preferred weren't really what the group wanted. They would really have liked us to explore Kimpton, but even at Kimpton, there were certain logistics, there was staff. He has more summer staff on hand at Kimpton during that time. It was a 2-day. We don't have sound.
Yeah, they wanted us to provide our own plugins. We have no options for that.
They, you know,
Right, we would have
I,
to rent.
after talking to him, I mean, I totally understand, other people, other organizations coming in and using all of that equipment. That's not inexpensive equipment. You know, we had good conversations and we tried to come up with solutions, and I know Leanne was trying to make it work too, but it just didn't seem to fit.
Was the biggest roadblock the summer? Or would, like, during school
Well, during school,
season
then you're
work
kind of
better?
competing for all the things that go on during school. Summer was ideal as far as the availability, but to have their staff on hand was another condition. So, you know, it just wasn't ideal. And we did talk, when we first started talking about this, we did talk about the community center. But the size and, I think there was something with additional side rooms. I'm sorry if I don't remember exactly what we talked about, but that's why we decided to go and consider looking at the schools, because the community center at the time wasn't ideal. We weren't certain about, I don't think we even had the, oh my gosh, the things in the ceiling.
Oh, the sound baffles?
The baffles, thank you. Yeah, we didn't even have those up yet, so there was the acoustics were really going to be a concern. So, you know, we can revisit that but I think again, if we did, then like Leanne said, a little smaller scale is outdoor concert.
Right, it's the amphitheater.
Yeah.
We were hoping to be able to showcase some pianists, and I would hate to do that to somebody outside. So we might have to rethink, like what type of music we would like to include and who would be interested. So, again, how we have to think. If anyone else would like to brainstorm with me, that'd be great. I know Lisa has signed up to help, but if anybody else was very interested in having some sort of music, and this wouldn't be bands, we're looking more at people who you know, are musicians, people that play the trumpet, the clarinet, the flute, you know, violin, cello, whatever they're
So orchestra more than
more,
band.
more orchestra.
So you'd have strings as well and
Yes.
woodwinds.
Right, correct. And we were envisioning a solo, duo, trio type of thing.
In not high school, but
Not high school, this is for adults. These
Okay.
are for
Professional group.
Well, not professional, these are just
But grown.
showcasing musicians,
Okay.
like we've been able to showcase artists in Stow. We would like to be able to showcase our musicians in Stow in a respectful way.
Thank you, Leanne. I know you put a lot of work into it.
No, Chris put a lot of work into it too. I don't want to like downplay that. Just trying to get into the schools is like.
It's, yeah, it's nothing.
Okay, well, moving on, the Warm Up America project, we've shipped off all the squares, we had volunteers put them all up on display, we had volunteers take them all down. It took way less time than we thought it would, it was amazing, it worked out perfectly, it was a pretty impressive display. We may have to rethink the piles of presents, because I did get comments about it looking like everybody.
Excuse me, what is this program? Is this putting together?
It's Warm Up America collects rectangles that have been either knit or crocheted. So the city of Stow was handing out kits where the community could make those rectangles.
Okay, I saw that.
Yeah, and then we took the rectangles and we put them on display inside City Hall here, in the shape of Christmas trees and a couple of presents that were stacked on top of each other. It was unveiled at Glow with Stow. Everyone could come and find their rectangle, kind of like they do at the schools where they look for their painted tiles. So
Okay.
you could like point out that you
And
made
then
that
where
one.
does this finished project, where does it go?
We took all the rectangles down and we shipped them to Warm Up America. So
Which is-
Warm Up
which is-
America
okay.
is a nonprofit organization that's based in Texas. They collect items like these rectangles that they again send out to other organizations that make blankets out of them. The blankets go to homeless shelters, they go to foster care homes, they go to NICUs, they go to hospices, they go to whatever nonprofit organization requests them for.
Battered women or whatever?
Exactly. As long as it's a nonprofit and they're in need, they get sent out to them. There is no charge to them. It goes throughout the country. So they do also accept ready-made blankets. They have something now where they're collecting shawls. So if you are an avid crocheter or knitter and want to participate, you can do so directly with them. But the city, we did this project where we did the Christmas trees. And
could you tell them the recognition we got from them?
So Warm Up America has shared our posts at Christmas time when we took pictures of the display and posted it on social media. I did tag them in it and they actually reshared it on their website too.
The group in Texas.
Yes.
Ah,
They reshared it on their social media and they have a very large following. I can't remember exactly how much, but it's more than our city Facebook page and the library Facebook page combined. So it was pretty impressive. And then when we shipped the boxes to them, they tagged the city of Stow thanking us for our donation. So we've had 2 social media posts thanking us for our contribution to their organization.
did this start small in Texas and it, like the Wreaths Across America, just started small and then has grown over the years?
Don't know very much about their history, but you can research them. You can look them up on social
It's
media.
just called
or
Warm Up America.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can look up all their information there. They also have like organizations and things. You can see the blankets and whatever that they send out. So yeah, they have a lot more information.
Interesting, very interesting.
Yeah. So I do have a question. If we want to do it again for 2025, when do we start? I can't remember when we started last year and when, I don't know how soon is too soon.
I started in like August, September. I feel like it was a fall thing.
How many
you're
citizens
getting that at the
participated, do you know?
Yeah, sorry. Oh, no, we did it in the summer as well.
Yeah, we started
We
before we
started
broke
in
for summer.
May.
Farmers market.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe.
Oh, wow.
We had it open to the entire community. We visited.
And the number was how many?
I can't remember how
Over
many. we
2,000.
had.
Over
Over-
1,600
Squares.
squares.
Yeah. We collected quite a lot.
And they were like Afghan squares, you mean, like?
7 by 9.
Yeah,
Oh, pretty good sized squares then.
Yeah.
Okay.
they
They were
have a
mostly
specific
knitted or
size.
crocheted, you're
Yeah,
saying?
they have a specific size of rectangle they
Ah.
want, but we had flyers that were the size of.
And then
the
do they
required
assemble them? You send the
Yeah.
squares and this group assembles them into certain size blankets or throws or whatever.
Yeah.
I see.
So, yeah, it was before the summer.
It
It
was.
was before the summer, it was in the spring.
Yeah.
I wanna say it was May.
I
We
think
kicked it
it was.
off.
So we probably wanna start it up again. It's kind of like an ongoing thing. I'm not gonna lie, I already have about 20 squares at home ready to go, so.
Only need 1,580.
No problem, I got you. Maybe this year we'll get you to make one. And Grandpa Tom sitting over there.
I made 2. I made 2 last summer.
They sent them back.
We could
They
do it
did.
every other year. If we didn't want it to be an ongoing thing, we could do it every other year. Because I'm also just a little worried if it becomes an ongoing thing, will we get as many annually? Maybe we will.
I don't know.
I agree with that thought though.
We didn't really tap out that many people. That was the
Yeah.
thing. We didn't even really get into the schools like we had planned.
Yeah.
Right.
We didn't get into schools until the very end.
Yeah,
And the art teachers even said, boy, I wish I would have known. We didn't get that far.
yeah. I had.
And we still did as well as we did, but we really
Yeah.
didn't, not that many people were super involved.
But it was very
I think people-
interesting that night though, and Tom was here
Yeah.
and Leela was here, of the comments from the actual residents.
Oh, yeah.
What is this? And so
Yeah.
it was a great thing and they
So I
were
think
very.
it's worthwhile to do it again this year anyway, just to see how the reaction
Yeah.
goes one way or the other. Then maybe.
I can tell you as someone that crochets a lot, if I have extra yarn left over, I will start as a rectangle. And then I will continue with it as I have little bits of yarn left over and finish it off. Because that's the beauty of it, you can use any yarn. So, yeah, I think.
Looks like you guys made your first stops in April. At the April meeting, you said you went to
Someone's
18 stops.
Nice. Okay,
So,
so,
I know we did it at farmer's market.
yeah, and you had things ready for the farmer's market. I have those notes too.
So we can figure out when to start with that.
Kick it off at the reception.
We could. I mean, we use the same flyers, we don't have to create new ones.
Yeah, and just update the info.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are there any other cities that do it in Summit County?
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
No,
not sure
I
about
am.
that. Yeah. Okay. Well, any other questions? Moving on, we've already talked about the Women in Arts reception. Does anyone have any ideas for summertime?
Yes,
Oh,
I have a whole list. But the one I've liked the most, I'm kind of wondering if, well, now I'm a little worried about space since the performing arts, but could also maybe be combined. But Disney, I'm a Disney adult, admittedly, but Disney has a Festival of the Arts at Epcot, if anyone's familiar. So they do all kinds of different food booths, but then you also have art displays. People can sell art. They have a huge chalk art, like ridiculous professional chalk art. They have like a giant community paint by number. So anyone that comes, you get a little sponge and a thing of paint and you get assigned a number. And so at the end, it makes a big, cityscape or whatever you choose. But I just thought that that'd be really cool. And they have performing art too. So you could combine that. And it wouldn't have to be the scale of Disney, of course, but you could even do food trucks in place of booths. Or if we want to involve community, kind of like the Palooza thing that just happened, have a couple local businesses who want to do food. That's the idea.
We've had many discussions about vendor events. The problem we have with doing a vendor event is we don't have the manpower to create an event like that. We don't have the volunteers that can show up and set up. And also Parks and Rec do have their own events that they're promoting and working on, and we have worked through Parks and Rec. There's no reason that we cannot be a part of a Parks and Rec event. I know at the last meeting we talked about the chalk art, and I really like the idea of having a professional chalk artist. I think is it Liz?
Yeah.
That's the one that does the 3D art.
Correct.
Having a professional create something that can be either the beginning of the chalk art, chalk it up, or at the end of it, or something like that. I do like the idea of having somebody like that showcasing their artwork, because I do think it's pretty spectacular. So.
Well, in the past, at the concerts, am I getting this wrong? Like the big blocks that are out there, there was an art opportunity.
There was,
for lack of a
yes.
better word. You were decorating with hands, and so I think we talked before about integrating it into current things that are happening versus trying to do a whole.
Yeah, we're small but mighty. So a festival or a vendor event for us is not doable, but to tack onto something that the Parks and Rec is already doing is more of something that we do. If it's a
maybe adding something on to the summer, what's it called? Summer sunset.
A paint by number thing at the summer sunset blast would be really cool. That would be super easy to do, I think. Because we could have just one of the booth spaces for it.
And I was just gonna ask you, what would be the canvas?
We could talk about that, as the artists in this room, if we wanted to get a submission or have somebody in this group do something that we could print out on the canvas and do the paint by number. And then that could be displayed somewhere.
Christmas too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Because if it didn't get finished at the blast, that's okay. We could maybe have it housed somewhere where people could finish it.
Yeah.
Or even at the concerts or whatever.
Yeah.
It could be this ongoing thing that just shows up and you do, whether you do it in part and then you assemble it, or whether it shows up in whole and people kind of get around it. The pieces thing, kind of like quilting, makes sense because it's
and
portable.
we could
You can
do a couple panels too. We could do like 3 panels
Absolutely.
that come together as something.
Well, you can get little.
Sorry.
She's excited.
This is like never gonna sit by you again.
You can get canvas panels, 4x4, whatever size you want. Like the library does sometimes when they did the paint your own spike version of spike thing. You can get those little panels and they can easily be affixed to something else, whether it be a wall, whether it be a big board, whatever.
That would be a manageable way to do a paint by number. Because you could say, look, it's gonna be essentially blue. You give them blue and white and it's or
Put
red
them
and
all
white and
together,
it belongs in a
pre-sketch it,
place.
put a number on each one, and then you
Yeah,
give
and then you
them,
could put it in.
and you can get the empty little paint strips, so you can squeeze some paint into each one. Like, okay, you've got paint number 1 and number 2, so you get a green and a blue. There you go, and
Right, and then
take
you
them
do
home and
whatever
drop
and
it off
then
at City Hall.
it fits.
Yeah,
And that could even, I don't, I'm doing park events.
yeah.
Cause I knew we were asking about, what kind of activity might we do at a park event? Like, this would be an art club, art commission. Kind of like, portable event. It could be at the farmer's market, it could be wherever.
We have the dates of the pop-ups. I don't have, I don't 100% have the parks, but the dates are Tuesday, June 17th, Tuesday, July 15th, and Tuesday, August 12th.
Yeah, I think something like that for a
Can you do
hand.
them again?
Sure.
Thank you.
June 17th, July 15th, and August 12th.
And what are these?
They're all Tuesdays,
Oh,
and last year they were 6 to 7.
7:30.
7:30,
What's
yeah.
the
6 to
official name
7:30, they
for
were
the-
an hour and a half.
She was asking what the name, the official, like the name of it.
Our pop-ups in the parks, and then we join forces with the library on that one. They give away a book to all the children. I think Sue can tell you that the turnout at all of the pop-ups were
It's
really good.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal. And I can tell you that handing out little canvases with paint will be far more suitable than handing out the yarn, because the kids come by and they go, what can I have? And they just take the yarn and they don't know how to crochet. They can't knit.
I think what would really be neat is you guys come up with whatever that picture would be,
Mhm.
but don't let the public know.
Yeah.
And then there's an unveiling of the art
That-
and people get to see what that little square they painted, but they don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
They don't know what the big picture looks like.
You can do a minute with the mayor to unveil it. Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, I think it could be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause you could just put a
Thanks,
number on
Missy.
the back, it's
Right.
assigned
Yeah.
a color,
Mhm.
and then you have this vision and then.
We just
you
have
even
to
a
keep
map.
charge of those, though. We can't let people walk away with them or take them home. They have to do them.
Well, if
Where
they
we're,
take
yeah.
them home, they can drop them off at City Hall, and if we don't see them again,
We
just
can
make.
make them,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can.
You're right, it's a nightmare, but.
You don't know me, Leela. I like to control everything.
You have to let go, just a little bit, especially if you want to involve the
I think
community.
people, a lot of people probably wouldn't drop them off. Just forget, you know?
Be surprised, we got 1,600 rectangles.
Yeah. Yeah, we gave
Wonder how
them
many
kids.
didn't come back, you know, maybe?
I would say
How
the
many-
majority came back, because how many did we
How
have?
many kids did you give out?
God, it was a ton.
No, let's say.
2,000?
No,
No.
No.
That was like
1,000.
maybe 1,000.
Yeah, so I mean,
and then people did on
And
their
then
own.
there were people
Yeah.
that did a lot of their own
Sure.
yarn or.
We got a lot of hooks brought back too.
Yes, a
Yeah,
lot
a
of
lot
those.
of people.
Yeah, they
returned
put
the
them right
hooks.
back in their
Yeah.
bags.
So that's nice.
I took a kit and did not finish it.
That's okay.
We know
I
that.
took a spike painting kit. So we're even.
Oh, so you were the one.
We knew that you were.
You were the one.
The one.
See, and she would be someone that would take Muriel and not bring it back. Every, yeah.
She's gonna do it this year.
Well, I took a kit too, but I gave it to somebody else. Yes, actually, she did.
That's a great idea, Megan. Thank you for bringing that.
Megan, that was great. Thanks.
Yeah.
And I love the chalk part, because I was just gonna invite that opportunity for the chalk. I think it could be added on to just about anything. My vision when I first thought of the chalk was that little parking lot over on the backside where the,
Yeah,
that would be a great venue. I mean, you could isolate it, because that was my first concern. Can we isolate it and have it be open and then, not a driveway or some I know it's an overflow parking for Skip, which is always overflowing anyway. But, you know, if you put up the barrier and then the artist could be there and it's accessible from all the other places that people can park and see and explore. I think it could be really cool, especially since we have a ringer. That was always my vision anyway, that we had a ringer to be part of this. So,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how best to include our ringer in the conversation going forward, but you say you talked to her?
Yeah, she goes to a library book club that I'm in, and we're Facebook friends. So I could message her, or Leela, I don't know if you, like, I don't know the protocol, just ask her if she's interested and then give her the Stow Arts email.
I'd like to firstly propose that we vote on moving forward with these two items for summer projects. So, Tom, would you like to do the verbiage for this? The
Yeah.
community mural and chalk it up.
Sure. What, no, I was looking through old minutes. I was looking through old agendas and minutes to find all the things about Warm Up America. And it was all you, Leela. You started the whole thing.
I did.
Yep. It's
So I
right
like
there.
to crochet.
All right, but what your first motion? What do you want to say?
The community mural, that we basically start work on these two projects for summer. Like work on figuring out these two
Do
projects.
you want two separate motions or do you want?
Do we need two separate motions? We need two separate
Yes.
motions.
Yeah, for each. Right.
Floyd,
Yes.
you want the chalk thing as a separate,
Yes.
Yeah.
well, then you figure it out. No, I'll help. You
So we need
move-
to make them,
Yes, we want to make a motion on
to
your
make a
idea.
motion to
To
move forward with the planning and execution of a
chalk
chalk event.
event. Yes.
Details to be determined.
Oh, that's very good. You always leave it
Did I
open.
do okay?
Yeah.
All right. So all those in favor?
Second.
It's gonna happen.
Somebody has to second the motion.
Okay.
Is it seconded?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
Leela
That's
has
what
to.
he's
Now, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any noes or abstentions? So moved.
All right, now what's the second thing that you want to have?
The community mural, that's,
So I'd like
So,
to make a
Megan, you
motion.
help me on this.
I'd like to make a motion to plan and execute a community mural throughout the summer, spring, and beyond for the community.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is this the one where everybody will get a color to?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. do
Details
that.
to be
Yeah,
determined.
Details to be determined, yes.
do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Yeah. Okay. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any noes or abstentions? So moved. Okay, we have two projects to work on for the summer. Thank you, everybody, for coming up with ideas. I like it. Sue, it's your turn to speak.
Oh, wonderful. Since I didn't bring stickers last time and Leela was disappointed I brought stickers this time. For February is Library Lovers Month, so we are giving these away with checkouts. It's a little Valentine themed.
Is it the one that has the word fancy on it?
Yes, read what you
I
fancy.
love
Or if your eyes are bad, it reads as read fancy because Spike is fancy.
And they have chapsticks I saw online.
Yes, we do. We're also giving away lip balm. And, there's your library branded lip balm for library.
Whoa,
lovers.
Thank you very much.
And our numbers are in from last year, so our, this is basically what we do for an annual report, our fast facts. When you have your fast facts, I wanted to point out on the inside bottom spread, these are projects that the library completed in 2024. We had a very busy year. You might remember the parking lot renovation, the checkout and circulation workroom remodel, and the bookmobile, the pavilion, all of these things happened just in 2024.
Wow, that's awesome.
And yeah, we had a great year with a lot of foot traffic, a lot of books moving in and out of the library. Since joining CleveNet, 3 years ago, the number of items that, moved back and forth between other Cleveland libraries and ourselves, that interlibrary loan, it's 5 times more than what we used to have. So there are just a lot of materials moving in and out of the library, and, I thank you to the community for your support.
And no more late fees, is that true?
That is true, yes. You do need to
Thank the
bring
Lord.
your item back eventually.
Does it mean free books?
Yeah, after 30 days, it's considered lost, in which case you will get a letter about that. But, you know, for just a few days.
But your credit score will not be affected.
Don't do not quote me on that. I don't think so.
They do send text messages out though.
Yes, we do
Coming up
send,
due.
we do send reminders, you know, please do bring your books back so someone else can check it out. But yeah, no late fees, and, if nobody else has requested a book, it will renew automatically for you for, I think it's a maximum of 5 times.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty lengthy checkout. Of course, if it's a very popular item like the Women, which on the inside was our most popular book in all formats last year.
It's good.
Yeah, you would get it. You would have that.
So,
I
is it
think the
true that
bookmobile shows up at your house.
I heard there are so many things you can check out at the library now.
Yes,
Is it true that you can check out gardening tools?
yes. They're a seasonal
Honest to
item.
God.
Yeah.
And
I love
board
that.
games and ukuleles.
I had no
and-
clue that.
Children's toys.
It's in the flyer?
It's
Oh my
amazing.
God.
Yeah, the gardening tools, I believe, will be available again in March.
As well they should be.
Yes.
And they have a seed library.
I was just gonna say
A
the same
seed
thing.
Yeah,
library.
we got them last year and really grew some stuff.
Yeah,
I'll
we
have to
are,
send
Gruesome?
Spending
Yeah,
$600
gruesome.
Oh, gruesome.
It was not gruesome, it was
You
excellent.
might be able to transfer your VHS tapes too.
Yeah. I don't know.
Thanks, Sue.
Thank you, Sue. I don't know why we have future events here. We have future events? No, okay. Our next meeting will be on the, we do the month first, yeah, the 4th at 6:30 in this room. April is the one that's at the community center. So do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
No no's or abstentions? Our meeting is adjourned at 7:36.